In this module, we're going to talk about campaign structure. Now, there's a lot of ways you can go about this, and there's not necessarily a right or wrong way. I'm going to show you some of the structures that we like. So basically, your campaign structure just gives you a logic in which to set up your campaigns and look at them in shells and know what's going on. So this campaign is audience targeting. So, going back to our targeting lesson, these are Google stock audiences, and I'm going to show you one that we ran for a short-term live webinar that was happening in the IM space. Now, we typically don't run ads in this space. This was just something kind of off the wall that we did and we promoted. Most of our experiences in financial, investing and trading, but this was an off the wall one that we did, and I'll show you how we set this up. So the structure here is that the campaign is targeting one audience. It's a stock audience from Google. It is in market for advertising and marketing services. So this is one of those audiences that you will find in Google. The way that we set this up is actually broken down. The ad groups are broken down by age groups. So I like to think of campaigns as the kind of like the wooden Russian dolls that you see, the Matryoshka dolls. So the campaign would be the big shell, and then the next shell down is for us in this structure is age groups. So we just break these all down by age groups, right? So you can see that we've gone all the way from 25 all the way up to 65 plus. In our investing niche, we know that the best performers are typically 55 and up. So a lot of times those are the only ones we'll target. Let's see, we also just targeted male here. So if I was targeting females, I would have broke those out into, also female 35 and up. That would have doubled my number of ad groups. So when you break it out in these shells like this, you can kind of see they're all performing pretty similarly. Some better than others. Like this one, technically on purchases, is the best. This was still good enough for me to keep alive. But a lot of times I will see that when running a campaign, that let's just say, for instance, this one was doing horribly. It had spent $1,600 and only got 2 sales. Well, that would be something, according to whatever rules I set for myself, that would allow me just to shut down this cell right here and keep the others alive. So we like breaking these out, the audience ones, by age group like that. Different ways you can go about it. I know the reps at Google, a lot of times they will just call a campaign audiences and just load up a whole bunch of audiences in there. Usually, though, I like to focus on one audience at a time because I know these audiences are pretty big. They can serve a lot of impressions. This just gives you some logic in which to break it up. And if you see something underperforming, you can shut it down. And your targeting really just depends on what you know about your niche. We didn't know a lot about this niche. We just decided to start with males. But like I said, in the investing and trading niche, we will target males and females, but we like the age groups, 55 on up. A lot of times we will test 45 to 54. As you gain knowledge about your niche, you can kind of shortcut your testing a bit because you keep running campaigns to the same avatar and your avatar well. So that is how we structure our audience campaigns. Let's go to the next one here. This one, same thing. This is topics. This is another good tip I picked up from Brat in the group. Self-help and motivational seems to do pretty well for IM, people watching motivational videos. But again, we broke these up into age groups as well. So, you can start to see sometimes some trends emerging there. on the cost per sale. And if we would have spent more, we would be seeing more data like 45 to 54, already not as strong as what we're seeing here on purchases. So again, it gives you those cells you can shut down. So that's how we like to approach topics like this if the topic has pretty good volume. Now I want to cover one that is a little different. It is keywords. We group those by a different logic. Um, so these, you'll notice, if you look at the campaign, it is keywords right there. So we break these out by keyword themes. So the demographics, we've still chosen our, let's say our age groups. Let's see, pretty much included everyone here. You can go and limit this as you please, but the way we broke out our ad groups is just by different themes. So, oops, give you a little more, give you an all-time data range to look at. So different themes here: ClickFunnels, make money online keywords. You can see how a lot of them are performing differently, right? That would cause us to want to shut this entire cell down. We spent some money on it. The leads are coming out more expensive. Not seeing any sales yet. Versus this one right here, you can see that this is a very strong performer, right? Compared to the make money online. So it just gives you different themes to test. And if this theme is not working out overall, like this is coming out very expensive leads with a little bit of money tested, we can usually tell pretty quick, if things are going to work. Guru keywords working out very well, getting us cheaper sales. And you'll notice that in keywords, the actual keyword groups that are working are coming out cheaper than audiences, because audiences, I look at them as being, it's just a much, there are many more impressions available. So your offer has to have some type of like larger appeal. So one protocol that we got into was testing in the investing niche. We would test a couple of audiences that we really liked, and we would also have a set store of kind of like keywords that we always like to try, right? And then sometimes those the offer maybe did not have broad enough appeal to just really do well on audiences, but we could typically find keywords that would work. And the keywords, in my experience, they will not scale as large as audiences. I'm always looking for offers that have mass appeal, that can scale, can get me, as many sales as possible. I like to do that volume. But I've had campaigns where no audiences at all worked, and I was still able to make keywords work. So it's a little more of a smaller, maybe a lake instead of an ocean that you're playing in. You just have to decide, can your offer do well to broad audiences? If not, what I like to play in is keywords. So we've broken this out by keywords, keyword themes, and we'll get into optimization in another module and kind of talk about that in more depth. But when you look at the keywords, if you want to punch in on a certain one like ClickFunnels here, okay. So here you can actually see how the keyword itself is performing, right? So you can, figure up your cost per sale and everything like that based on what you're spending, and decide what you want to keep alive. So you can go in and, maybe you have a keyword that's bringing you a lot of traffic, but it's not getting you any sales. And then you can also see those, those bits of gold nuggets where they're working really well and getting you sales. And we'll get more into this in the optimization module. But as you can kind of see here, this still follows that logic of you're going to look at the campaign level, see how your ad groups are doing, and then explore deeper in the ad group to see actually how those keywords that make up your ad group kind of how they're doing, because you may have one or two keywords that's doing everything for you, and you may have others that aren't doing as well. But that is a general overview of how we structure campaigns. Every now and then we will try different things. I don't really believe that there's one definitive way that you must do it, but you just must have some type of logic that you are comfortable with, where you can kind of quickly scan through things. You understand your setups. You can look at your ad groups and tell, like, if you look at the campaign and the campaign is so, you may have an ad group in there that's actually getting all of your sales while the others are dead weight. So that's going to help you with your optimization. So you just have to structure it in a way to where it makes it easy for you, to look at each level and know what's going on.